Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is SK Crypto K, and today let's take a look at how Elephant Money is performing since everything has been turned on since Stampede version 5 went live, and address some of the other changes that are going to be coming before version 6 shows up with Wrapped Elephant and Stampede NFTs. But first, we will address the elephant in the room, which is the trunk peg and what we as a community should be doing to grow the Elephant Treasury sooner than later. So let's get into it.
Yo, appreciate your time and just know that I'm SK Crypto K, and today you should join my crypto club. Maybe by the end earn some dividends, so in advance I'ma thank you right now for that sub. Hey! Yo, let's go.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Let me preface everything by saying that I am not a financial advisor, and these are for entertainment and informational purposes only. So, wow, do we have some volatility in the market right now? Just taking a quick look at the elephant price, you can see that while Bitcoin and BNB and everything is dragging the elephant price down, in addition to the elephant graveyard, which hopefully you caught that rebalance and were able to scoop up some cheaper tokens right about here. But it looks like we've rebounded quite nicely on the trend upward. But things will continue to remain volatile as long as we are so inherently pegged against the BNB pair. And when you filter out the noise and look at Elephant compared to just BNB directly, you'll actually see since the beginning of May, this protocol is winning, as the purchases happening against Elephant are actually beating out the BNB price despite the market conditions overall. So this is a very exciting metric to look at. We will soon hit a point where Elephant does not care what the overall market's doing, and that is because of this Elephant Treasury sitting at 73.5 trillion tokens. And nursing this treasury back to health is the key focus of the developer and the community at large, because once this hits 150 trillion tokens, you'll begin to see the squeeze it's going to do on the price. And then once it crosses 200 trillion tokens, that's when things become interesting. And you'll likely see a parabolic elephant chart, much like we did pre-exploit. And before I continue any further, please remember to protect your own assets. There are Telegram scammers DMing people the same way they did in the earlier parts of this year that are essentially claiming to give out free elephant airdrops, and this is just simply not true. So always be sure to never respond to those DMs, never click on any of the links in there that say first come, first serve, and then approve your wallet to where your elephant tokens will get zapped right out of your wallet. Because that's exactly what happened this last time in March during the parabolic run-up, and then this first giant red candle that you see was actually the coordinated sell-off of those Telegram scammers, to which people panic dumped, so on and so forth, all the way until the major flash loan attack that occurred. So do not answer those DMs, and always triple check against the actual elephant.money website, or ask questions in the official Telegram group or the Discord before proceeding and getting scammed. Now, in regards to the Pancake LP price staying below peg right now during this recovery phase that everybody should have known was coming, just know that there's a redemption strategy that is being worked up right now that should be out within the week. And in regards to what it's going to do, apart from requiring some complex UI that hopefully isn't too confusing for folks, but essentially there is going to be a daily budget that allows folks on a first come first serve basis, or maybe it'll look a little bit different, but you will be able to redeem at the trunk $1 peg until those daily funds run out. And interestingly as well, the trunk that is redeemed on this function will be burned from the supply. And this is key and something that we'll discuss here in a second. Now, for the budget for redemptions, the system will not foolishly drain the treasury, such as what recently occurred with Luna, even though they also had separated block measures that people were suggesting for the elephant exploit. However, that would not have helped because it simply takes a lot of money, and rather than doing it in one block, they can spread it out throughout the day. But in regards to this strategy, it is a daily budgeted amount, and if it's screwed up, the impact is only for that day's worth of funds, as opposed to draining out the entire bag. So there's no more bank runs that can occur.
Now,
The strategy will incorporate a new BUSD pool of funds that'll be budgeted daily for folks to redeem PEG. However, that burn mechanic is very important for the amount of trunk versus BUSD that exists on the current LP PEG. So right here, you're roughly separated by the amount of trunk that you have compared to BUSD by about $3.5 million. And for everyone that's buying BUSD, it's adding it into this pool, which then pulls out from the trunk pool. So for this to reach equilibrium, instead of just adding $3.5 million into BUSD, it really only takes about $1.75 million because it's also pairing that BUSD that comes in with the available trunk that gets drained out from here to one day hit equilibrium. However, we know that the market fear is real and everybody's freaking out with what happened with Luna and the UST debacle. But the new redemption strategy is actually going to be taking whatever trunk is thrown into it and burning it from the system, meaning you will have a faster rate of trunk being removed from the system over time. That helps this PEG reach parity sooner than later. In regards to trunk and this whole minting versus buying on PCS, bank tellers' messaging has been consistent this entire time. The system will recover on its own, but will do so faster if people are educated on the value of minting versus just buying the discounted PCS trunk. There's obviously no denying that there is a discount to take advantage of here, and some would consider minting for the full 99 is an immediate loss versus buying on PancakeSwap. However, if you believe in the system long term, it's not considered a loss, especially when you realize what it's doing for the Elephant Treasury. So this isn't to say never to buy on PancakeSwap, especially right now, because these are the final days that it should be this cheap before the new redemption strategy comes into play. But just don't forget to show a little bit of love to the mint button right here, in addition to what you get discounted on the Pancake pair. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, and I'll go ahead and actually mint some BUSD right now, just to show this new claim button that's here as well. But anything from $50, $100, $150 that you have is completely fine. And don't forget the little tip right here for the 105 BUSD I have. I'm gonna type in 106 and you'll see that it captures everything and will return to me 104 trunk. So let's go ahead and mint it. And one of the major differences you'll see right here is your BUSD will go away and it'll show up in this trunk claim button area after 3 blocks, which is relatively fast. It should only take about 5 seconds. But there has been some confusion as far as after someone mints, where does that trunk go? They're immediately looking down here in their trunk wallet to see if it's there. But you have to remember, as one of the protections after the exploit, there is a waiting period so that flash loans cannot attack in a single block. And this middleman claim section where the trunk just showed up is an extra step that you have to claim out in order for it to show up in your wallet, like so. So any second you should see it hit my trunk wallet, to which I can then choose to put it into native staking or down into the Stampede.
So wait, can you explain why I would want to mint it instead of just buying the discount on PancakeSwap?
Why, absolutely I can, little one. You just have to remember that buying on PancakeSwap simply adds to the exit liquidity of dumpers and paper hands who want to get out of the system or cash out of the system whatever they can, because technically the overall market is down and every token is on a fire sale at the moment. But by buying on PancakeSwap and providing that exit liquidity for dumpers, you're not growing the system as much as you think, because you're actually contributing to it linearly. Whereas if you're getting trunk via the mint button, then you are exponentially helping the ecosystem, because this feeds the Elephant Treasury and gets our elephant bags to go parabolic sooner rather than later. So without question, with the new redemption strategy coming into play with the burn mechanic and PEG being restored in the short term, just remember the entire point of elephant money and let this serve as a reminder. Overall, the community should worry less right now about the PEG and more on the Elephant Treasury, because it's this that was robbed during the exploit and what the new governance contracts in version 5 are looking to feed as quickly as possible. And it's also this that will send Elephant token parabolic again in a sea of red for the overall market. So the new redemption strategy will continue to move towards balancing that ratio of BUSD to trunk and will further take us deeper down the correct path. However, you have to remember what the chart looked like pre-exploit. And this is during the months of January and then February and then March is when things started to get real crazy. And ultimately, this entire ecosystem gets fixed once the Elephant Treasury is squeezing Elephant token price to high heaven to pay off all the Stampede debt owed at PEG. The current concerns about PEG right now during a recovery period are premature, only 1 week out from the system being turned on after a major exploit where the Elephant Treasury was robbed. It has been stated numerous times before that the system being turned on with version 5, that volatility was to be expected. This is mainly due to the paper hands getting out of the way, and likely those people that were behind the exploit continually trying to shake up your faith in this protocol. However, people need to remember that the supply shock of Elephant token is inevitable and is paramount to the success of the ecosystem at large. Because pre-exploit, Elephant Treasury was sitting around 212 trillion tokens, and you already saw what that was doing onto the chart before the exploits occurred. But you can best believe that as this Elephant Treasury breaks past 200 and then 250 trillion, 300 trillion, 350 trillion, that sheer amount of protocol owned liquidity, in addition to the graveyard's 500 trillion tokens and the liquidity locked up on PancakeSwap, this token will capture more X's than you can even imagine. Not only that, but when you look at the Stampede bond float, which is the amount of debt that is technically owed to all Stampede users right now, when that Elephant Treasury is in the hundreds of trillions again, it will amass so much value exponentially higher than what the Stampede debt is owed. And when that Elephant Treasury is back, it can literally look over and spit at the Stampede and pay the debt owed at PEG without even flinching. People are quick to forget that that is the innovation of this protocol. That is the model and the backbone to everything. And that is why people should worry less about the PEG right now, when the focus actually is on growing this Elephant Treasury as quickly as possible. And by minting versus buying straight on PancakeSwap, you are exponentially feeding this entire system that grows this treasury faster. So hopefully that makes sense, and the simple message to take away from this is to mint your trunk, bond it for your easy 6x on your capital. In regards to growing your own herd, be sure that you yourself even have an upline partner, because you are earning 1% on your deposits and rolls that is then split 50-50 between the upline partner, and particular focus is on you. You are airdropping yourself 0.5% of your own activity. So be sure you're linking up to somebody, and if you happen to choose me, then thank you kindly in advance. And be sure to DM me what your wallet address is. That way I can include you on my monthly lottery for a community voted amount of winners that will split the winnings. So that is all that I have for this video. Remember, everybody, to protect your assets and do not fall for the scammer links and DMs that are coming your way inevitably. And always triple check everything across the main website and social media platforms. When it comes to Elephant Money, being patient during this recovery phase and allowing the governance contracts to work their magic over time is key. Obviously, yes, the overall crypto market is down. Fear about stable coins such as UST are real, but this Elephant system is a different beast altogether. The model has proven to work in the past and inevitably will restore back once the Elephant Treasury is back and able to pay PEG without flinching. Because when the Elephant Treasury is huge, then remember, it will also keep the trunk BUSD liquidity fueled by the 5% APR coming out of the Elephant Treasury. And when that APR is coming out daily from the Elephant Treasury, which has hundreds of trillions of tokens in it, you're talking about a percentage of millions worth of dollars that are coming out every day to support the trunk BUSD liquidity. It's an endless cycle of propping up the entire ecosystem, which will hold PEG better than any model out there. So all of the concerns for PEG right now are short term. So patience, time, and education will have this system print money for you sooner than later. So just remember to stay positive, believe in the system, believe in the community and what Bank Teller is doing for you, and keep educating others in the community and newcomers that you bring in under your herd. So that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And until next time, please stay safe out there, stay blessed, and make good choices with your crypto.
Oh man, time's running out. I really want to take advantage of that supply adjusted against Bitcoin price of Elephant. Who wouldn't buy a $3.72 Bitcoin if they had the chance?
Well, these coming weeks and months are your last opportunity before these partnerships start slapping you in the face.
Woo! I cannot wait.